time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
Fine, because I'm skewed a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's all behind the scenes.
You talking about the doctor's visit or what?
Yeah, he said it's leaning a little bit to the left, if you know what I mean. Fun fact, that is true. It does. I mean, it's not like, huge or anything like that, but
could go right, could go left. It's a curvature.
yeah, I'm saying my curvature is like to the left.
Curvature.
What do you think causes that?
My running theory for a long time when I was a wee lad was that, like, when you pop one in school and you have to like move it to one side or the other.
Oh, that's actually a really good theory. Yeah, I like that one. Dude, that's a really good theory. I dig that a lot.
Because like you had to push it to one, because if you're wearing like, pants, you're not wearing basketball.
You didn't do the waistband?
Sometimes, but like sometimes you couldn't. Like, you're in this small little desk or whatever, and
wearing tight shirts.
You had to make it not obvious.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then like you just sort of move it to one side or the other, and then whichever side you move it to the most, it's the side.
That was always the right side. Yeah, because the left side would feel weird. But then it's like, I don't know, I don't understand how it works, because it's like it's curved. So
well,
whatever.
I mean, that's probably just natural.
I can't believe that it's not like a muscle. I know that it's like, I don't even know what it's composed of, but it's apparently not a muscle. So, but then
yeah, but I mean, it's just like, women, one's bigger than the other.
Yeah, but those, I mean, they're composed of fat. It's like fatty tissue.
But I'm saying, like, there's no reason for it. Like, it's just.
I just don't know how they make these blood bags work. Like, that's really, at the end of the day, it's all about just forcing blood into it, and it gets all, happy and whatnot. Yeah. I like that this is like the first 2 minutes of the podcast, so I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible. People have no idea what we're talking about, so.
Well, speaking of the first 2 minutes, you have a giant correction to make.
I'm not making any corrections, dude. My math was flawless. Okay?
Have some housekeeping.
My math was flawless.
I'll take about a 10% blame in this, because I didn't do the math. I didn't check your math. I just moved on. The 90% your fault, because you did the math with a calculator and it was incorrect by a large margin.
I blame my phone then, man. It's all I can do, I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what buttons I pressed. Because, thinking about it now, not being put on the spot, I've had days to think about this, right? Because shout out to Ben, who called me out. He was like laughing his ass off how stupid I am. He was literally yelling at the radio, be like, "This guy's a fucking idiot, dude. Can't even do math with his phone." But no, thinking about it now, if we have 200,
you've definitely not been stewing on it.
And I've not been redoing the math in my head over and over again and making sure that I have it flawlessly this time. But no, we have 264 episodes, 265 when this one comes out, at an average of 60 minutes per episode. Hey, I don't know if you guys know this. That's 265 hours of content. I don't know where the hell the other 20 hours came from, but maybe that's the bonus material you get somewhere else. I don't know. We have Twitch VODs up on YouTube. That would count, right? I don't know. But
if you combine all of our content, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I'll be honest. I don't know, because I literally times it by. I literally times the episode number by 60 and then divided it by 60. What do you mean?
That's weird. It's weird that you say times. Are you fucking 7th grade?
That's how I remembered it, dude. I don't know.
Multiply. You multiply it.
I blame the educational system that I was a byproduct of.
I thought this was the year of growth where you were just going to actually start taking responsibility for your...
Hey, I am, buddy. I'm out here. I'm saying I got it wrong. You're right. I don't know. I am going to blame, my teachers. I'm going to blame my phone, but I do accept the fact. Yeah, I do accept the fact that I was wrong, and shouts out to Ben for catching it. Nobody else did. So all you other people out there are just as smart as I am.
Nobody else listened to the episode.
Hey, maybe that's the truth, baby. And it's like, hey, if that's the truth, I'm living with it. Nobody else heard my blunder, okay?
Or do you think that like the people have listened for such a long time that they're like, yeah, that's Jacob Math right there. Like, you know, you have girl math,
Yeah, I
boy
mean,
math. Like
hey,
that's Jacob Math.
I'll accept that. I like that.
You always have to exacerbate and increase
Yeah,
when you're
dude.
talking about something to make yourself look better, feel better.
Always got to exacerbate for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always doing. I'm always
Exacerbate
exacerbating.
and extrapolate.
Hey, that's the words I live by. I got that tattooed on my tramp stamp spot, and I
When are
mean,
you going to get a tattoo?
man, I don't know. That's we talked about it before. Really have been thinking about it, just getting like a small stupid one, just because like I feel like, it's everybody has a tattoo and it's got some meaning. I would just like to get like a little smiley
Yeah,
face.
but
or
don't
something.
get one because everyone else does. That's the dumb reason to get one.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'm at this point now in my life. I'm 35. Everybody's got a tattoo of some
You are
sort.
not 35.
Almost 35.
You are almost 34.
Man,
You're
that's
33.
It's Jacob math. Leave it alone, okay? I'm
Yeah, but you're
almost
not
35.
the same age as me, is the thing.
I'm
I
almost
got you.
35, man. Okay,
You're almost 34.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think recently I did put that I was 35 on something, and I think
I think it's just because you want to be me.
maybe, man. Maybe I'm just trying to, and I'm gonna get to the point where like I'm trying to wear your skin. I'm gonna like create a replica of your skin in like some kind of clone factory, and I'm gonna wear it around and be like, hey, I'm Alex, guys. What are you talking about? I've always been Alex. My face is like sliding off.
Speaking of housekeeping, before we get to that, I would also
Okay.
like to shout out Zoe. It's her birthday this
Oh
week.
yeah,
She
I
will
was
be
gonna
7.
open with like a happy birthday, but I forgot. So
Well, happy birthday to my favorite human being on earth,
happy birthday.
my daughter Zoe. But I have some growing or some correction or some housekeeping, if you will. I lied not once, but I lied twice on the last episode, and
Man,
I'm here to tell you what I did. All right. First of all, I said I'm not watching the Olympics. That was a lie, because not only have I watched some of the Olympics, I watched the opening ceremony of the Olympics. However, there is a reason I watched the opening ceremony, because it was Thursday. So we record on Wednesdays normally. Thursday afternoon, there's like this, for some reason, like they were just keeping who was doing this opening ceremony, which is like 5 hours long, by the way, to like, people who like, who's carrying the torch, who's
Yeah.
doing this, who's doing that. They're keeping it all under wraps. But Thursday, it sort of like leaked out. And it's one of those, like, you're living in the moment. Like, this is not a real thing. Someone was like, oh, Gojira's going to play. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that they're going to allow a metal band open like the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
yeah, but
Now,
would they do like metal show like esque, or would they like tone it down for like TV? It's the Olympics.
well, and then I started thinking, I'm like, well, they are from France, and they are very French. Like, they're not like so much like avant-garde, like as far as that can, but like they have been in metal for so long that they now have their own distinct sound that they've borrowed from other bands, but it's become the Gojira sound. And they're all about the planet. They're all about environmentalism and all that sort of thing.
Surprisingly,
Hippie
a
dip.
lot of like metal bands are about that kind of stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, like
down
it's
with
not
the
all about
government. Yeah,
it's not all about Satan and shit, which is like a common misconception. And then like the further the day went on, because I remember texting like Phil and Hef, I was like, dude, Gojira's playing the opening ceremony, and like it was like, there's no way, what? And then it came out like, yeah, Gojira's gonna play it, and I'm like, I have got to watch this.
How was it?
So, well, and also like for anyone who doesn't, like, I've seen Gojira like 5 times, and I am pretty sure that I saw them on their first U.S. tour back in 2007, where they opened for Machine Head and Lamb of God. Like, that's how long I've liked Gojira. And it was wild. It was a wild performance. They're on the side of a fucking castle, just
That's
like
sick, dude. Yeah.
red dude, just playing Gojira. And then like it opens up, like the whole thing opens up with like oh gosh, I forget, Marie Antoinette, like her head, she was
Yeah, I've
beheaded,
heard
right?
that there was a lot of like
Imagery.
some people are calling it on certain sides of the political
Satanism.
yeah, the certain side of the political spectrum and religious side, that it's Satanism. There was a lot of blood
it?
and gore and
But, yeah.
heads.
Well, I don't know if you know, but like they did do that. Marie Antoinette's head was like cut off. Like that was an actual thing.
I mean, like they did it on stage, like at the Olympics, or
No, it was somebody
okay.
dressed up.
They cut somebody else's head off? Like, I mean, that's dedication to the character, honestly.
Yeah,
But
right.
hey, who was
And so
who was Marie Antoinette?
you have Google.
Just for the people out there that don't know, though, you know, like okay,
She's
let
a
me
histor- I
Google
mean,
it.
she's
Oh,
like a
gosh.
historical figure, like way back,
This
like
is
in the
why
olden
I don't
days.
do
Like
things on the podcast,
sort of
messing stuff up.
like she was beheaded, I think, for something.
Okay, I'm googling
Anyways.
it.
Yeah, anyways.
Marie.
God,
okay, there we
Lord,
go.
I've hit the mic twice now.
Oh,
Um,
she's that picture, the lady in the picture. They did a painting, and she's got that bun thing or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, she's got pictures of her.
Anyways, so they did this whole thing, and they did their performance, and it was great. I mean, it was Gojira, and they didn't dial it back, they didn't tone it down. It was just like, holy shit! I was like, this is amazing. Like, I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. And then of course,
she was a dolphin of France.
a what?
A dolphin of France.
A dolphin?
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Dauphine of France, but
Yes,
it looks
yes.
like dolphin, like a
like
dolphin,
like your Twitch streamer that you like,
Wait, what? Who? Like
Belle Delphine.
oh, Belle Delphine. Yeah, like Dauphine. Yeah, it's the Belle Dauphine. Hey, you know. Oh.
Anyways,
But yeah, okay.
it was great. It was great. And then of course, like being a big fan of Gojira, and then like it's just always been sort of like, yeah, Gojira's always been great. Like they're from you, not even a
Dude,
Gojira
yeah.
fan. You've seen them.
They're great,
phenomenal.
man. I had a really good time at that show. Like, the vibes were there. They had a great aesthetic. Like it was just sick. It was a good show.
Sound,
Yeah, sound was
heavy,
great.
loud. Anyways, so then watching the proverbial meltdown on social media on one side of like, oh my god, and it wasn't just Gojira. It was just like more so the imagery and like what was the Last Supper, but like actually wasn't the Last Supper.
I did
and,
hear that
like,
there were some drag queens, and like that's hey, shouts out. You know, you
well,
all
dude,
rock. Give it
France
up. You
is
know,
very progressive, dude.
that's sick.
They've always sort of been that way, and
I mean,
just
sick in a
like-
good way, and also give it up in a good way. Like hell yeah, you know, get that bag.
and all of that, and like the blood and yada yada. So it was just very much like, oh my god, they're not even hiding their Satanism. This is what the government, and it's like, good.
But the thing
Lord.
is,
Yeah,
it's an international like Olympics, right? This is hosted by France. I don't know if they think that like the U.S. government is so wide and popular that they had a hand in like the Satanist imagery and whatnot of the global Olympics. Okay, you know, like it's hilarious to me. I don't know, it's so dumb.
Dude, it's just like if you just sit back and just let people talk, they'll tell on themselves. I've always said that. Like this, like it's insane. And it's no different. I mean, everything that happens is going to have like this hot take. It's going to be polarizing, but it's like, whatever, it's like, I don't give a shit. And,
Yeah.
good job for Gojira. Amazing for the metal, like industry, for the metal community. Like
It's
just
like the first time
everyone-
ever, right? It's like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, France gets Gojira and we can't even get like Metallica for the Super Bowl show. And it's like, yeah, because
they had like what Beyonce.
Beyonce.
I don't know why I say
Beyonce.
it like that. Beyonce, like I don't know. She.
I'm pretty sure
who,
she was there.
Who did the Olympics for us? I got Google. I know. I just like
I
asking.
mean, I know Snoop Dogg was the torchbearer.
Perform.
Right?
That's sick. Honestly, good for Snoop Dogg because I didn't know he was gonna be like in the running for torchbearer.
I mean, I don't know what the like laws are because I'm pretty sure he's been charged with a felony before. So like, you can't really travel abroad.
Hey,
It's weird though,
they
right?
got
You
him
can run
there,
for
you
president
know?
though.
When did we host the Olympics? Like back in like '90s or something, some shit.
1996 in Atlanta.
In Atlanta. Damn.
It's gonna be in LA in 2028.
Opened 19.
God, could you imagine? So like
96
LA, like right now, LA.
Olympics.
Imagine adding LA.
LA.
Imagine adding like another 100,000 people to LA.
Bill Clinton opened the games.
Well, he was the president.
And Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Atlanta native Gladys Knight. I don't know who the hell that
Yeah,
is.
Gladys Knight and the Pips, dude.
Okay, sure, dude. John Williams conducted the music.
Mike is going to listen to this and he's going to text you. He's going to tell you that you're a racist.
Oh wow, is she? I'm so sorry. I didn't know that she was, of color. I apologize. Is that proper? I don't know.
You just don't have any culture, bro. Like
Hey,
you just
I don't.
there.
Oh
you
yeah,
have
Gladys.
lived-
Okay, I'm gonna Google who Gladys Knight is now before I get canceled real quick. Jesus Christ. And it would be okay. Yeah, she's a black woman. She's very pretty black woman.
R&B singer, I think, right?
Yes, she's 80 years old, born in 1944. Very nice. That's cool. She's part of a band and all that. She sung.
What band?
You know, some of them.
The Pips, dude.
You did just say it, but yeah, the Pip, sure. I still don't know who she is, but I know what she looks like now. She's a very pretty lady. So
sometimes I say things, and I swear to God, I don't think you listen to me.
I listen, but it's just like it doesn't. The information doesn't get loaded into the pipeline fast enough, right? It's a great way of explaining it, and so like I've heard it registered. It's back there in the back somewhere, but they haven't loaded it into the pipeline.
When I reiterate it, you're like, "Oh yeah, you did just say that."
Yeah, because it's coming off the chute right then, and it's like, "Oh yeah, and I already know." But yeah, sick.
But yeah, it's gonna be an LA in 2028.
That's
I've dabbled. You know, Zoe and Christina's really been into the gymnastics. So, and I think Christina's been following one of the rugby players for a while on TikTok. So like she's way more into it than I am. So it's like it's been on.
I think gymnastics is kind of growing on Quinn right now because like we went to shouts out birthday party there, and he had a great time. He had a blast.
Dude, I'm telling you,
his abs are killing him right now. He's complaining about it for 2 days straight. So he is not happy.
It's
about
not,
that,
dude. Sign him up, dude.
I think that if we were gonna do a sport, it probably would be gymnastics or whatnot. Just because he has no interest in baseball, maybe basketball. He showed a little bit of interest because his friends are doing it, but
sure,
I
mean,
just get him active. Honestly, is all we want. So,
and it's an hour a week, and like he'll build some strength. Because dude, I'm telling you, like. I'm just in there and I see these 15-year-old dudes that are absolutely shredded.
I mean,
and I'm just like, even when I was in the best shape of my life, not once did I ever look like that. I'm just like,
I'm currently in the best shape of my life. And I have never looked like that. Yeah. I would say, yeah, honestly, I think
even when you were like playing baseball and shit in high school.
Yeah, man, I was always just a bigger kid, man. Short but stout. That's what they refer to me as. So,
well, I mean, like Thor. That was Thor, right? He was.
How tall is Chris Hemsworth?
No, I mean like the actual Thor.
Oh, that's fair. I do like God of War's rendition of Thor because like that's a guy I could be.
That looks because he looks like a bodybuilder. Like they have the big giant stomachs. They're not like shredded.
I just wish I had big hands, man. That'd be sick. My hands.
Well, there's nothing new about that.
I got tiny little baby hands, dude. Okay, and I don't think you can lift weights for your hands, so I can't make them any bigger. That's upsetting, those guys that just like the arm wrestling champion of the world. Have you ever seen his hands where like he can cover a basketball with him, and it's like, hey, I bet your pee-pee looks really tiny in that thing. So, yeah, honestly, that's at the end of the day.
If you have really long fingers, you also look like salad fingers too. So,
hey,
there's also that.
That's true. I guess I do have like good proportionate hands, So
they look fine for your body.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm taking it. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I'm gonna keep that. So thank you.
Lie number 2, speaking of shredded.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not going to have time. Don't really have the desire. Definitely won't have time this coming up weekend. But birthday parties got like moved around. We were supposed to have hers on Saturday, but it got moved to Sunday. But like that was weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But I knew we had a birthday party on Saturday, but it was Saturday morning. And so like after the party, I was so tired. I was like so tired. I don't know why. I came home to a nap at 1 o'clock.
You were walking around the entire time and whatnot. So
no. This is on Saturday.
Wait, when was the party?
Mine was
the next day.
Yeah, it's on Sunday. Yeah. So on Saturday we had one. Because that's the thing, man. Like diatribe. Sidebar, I guess. We've been to a lot of birthday parties this summer, like a lot. Mm-hmm. We have the benefit of like we take our vacations typically spring break and fall break. Mm-hmm. So the summertime, we don't really travel where like a lot of families will travel during, summer. That's where they do their big vacation. And so we're home and there's no reason not to go. Zoe's going to have a blast. And for that reason alone, it's like, it would just suck to have a birthday party and nobody shows up. Right.
Yeah.
Like it would just be kind of devastating. Like I think it's like a universal, like, oh man, that's really sad. And so we went to one Saturday and it was the kid's birthday party and there was only 2 people that showed up and Zoe was one of them. So that is sad. And I'm glad that we showed up, glad that we went.
Yeah, for real.
But what's crazy is when you go to all those birthday parties, Jacob, all those people come to your birthday party.
Yeah, and it's like you start inviting them to birthday parties, and it's like, oh,
There was a lot of people at Zoe's
it was a
birthday
lot
party.
of kids, yeah, and
But what was really cool is they had full reign, a full run of the
yeah,
gym.
that's the sick thing about it is that you didn't have to really worry about them. They could go around, jump on shit. Like it was all designed for kids to not get hurt if they weren't doing something stupid. Of
Normally
course,
they
but-
do. Normally they do like a little, not a program, but it's a little bit more like they'll set up like a Ninja Warrior course and all sorts of
Yeah.
shit. But I guess like the men's high school team had taken a bunch of the mats, so they didn't have like half the equipment. So they're just
Bastards, yeah.
so they were just like whatever, let them run around, and we were just like perfect because there was
mean,
different age
yeah.
groups, whatever. Anyways, all that to say is like Saturday, came home, took a nap. I think it's because I didn't get my normal amount of coffee, and woke up and like Christina's like, I think I'm gonna take Zoe to go see Minions, and I was like, what am I gonna do? She was like, I don't know. You can come with, and I was like, well, I
Have
don't want to
fun.
go. I was like, well, I don't want to go see that, but I was like, hold on now.
Then the
I was
boys
like,
in the chat started talking about
No, this is
Wolverine
actually
and
I was
Deadpool.
I'd already committed at that point. I was just
Where'd you guys
I was
go?
busy. Went to Oak Ridge.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, were you guys at the Pinnacle when we were, and we just completely just didn't see each other?
No. It was actually probably like way cheaper for me to go to Oak Ridge.
Probably so. I mean, it was actually surprisingly only like I think $20 per person for our tickets, but then we spent
Mine was 11.
We spent $20 on popcorn and a drink for like a medium popcorn or medium drink and a small popcorn. I was like, Jesus, talk about inflation.
Now again, for anyone who is not aware, where we live is where the Regal headquarters is. So like we got a big old fancy
Yeah, you think they cut us a
theater.
deal on the prices here,
But it's very expensive. Yours is $20 a ticket.
Yeah, it was about $20.
You also went at like
a matinee. We saw a matinee. Yeah.
matinee on a Saturday for a brand new movie. Mine was $11.
Not bad.
And I went to my movie before them, and they got out before me. But anyways, they went and shopped for like an hour, but while I went
It
to
was
go see,
a
anyways,
long ass movie. Like, I mean, it was
Well, it's like
2
2
hours, but it's still.
it's a Marvel movie. And I have refrained from saying anything to you about it because you're like, I want to guess your opinions. Now,
Yeah, I wanted to see if I know.
full caveat, before we get into any of this,
Okay.
I really enjoyed the first movie. I did not like the second movie.
Yeah, I think you said that before, and I
So-
think Shelby went and watched the first one again. Like,
First one is
yesterday or
just
whatever. It was
very special because it is grounded. It's a little bit low budget, practical effects. It's it's not doesn't need to be
doesn't
anything
rely
more
on
than it.
heavy CGI or anything like that.
Well, it doesn't need to be anything more than it is. And then it's like, I get it. It made a bunch of money. So like, let's sequelize it and do the sequel thing. And you spend more money, which means more shitty nonsense. Also, I didn't like the story, whatever.
Okay, so I think I was thinking about it. I was watching it. I was taking it all in, and then I got to the end of it, and I was like, well, how do I think that Alex would think this movie was? And my verdict was, you'd probably say, it's fine. It was fine. So that's what I think your opinion of the movie was. Is like ultimately like, it's fine.
What was your opinion of the movie?
I thought, okay, I've time to digest it, really like look at it, break it down, put it back together. I thought it was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. I think we talked about it last episode that it's going to be like, a lot of cutaways, a lot of cameos, a lot of like, people coming in and then being like, oh, look, it's that person or whatever. That definitely did happen. There were a lot of cameos. I don't want to
There was a
spoil
lot of that.
anything. I don't think we should spoil anything. This is spoiler light, but
Okay, go ahead.
definitely a lot of fourth wall breaks and whatnot. But it did feel to me as though it was very well paced. I mean, again, it's a Deadpool movie. And I know that Deadpool's whole shtick is the fact that he breaks the fourth wall all the time, acknowledges and whatnot. I mean, everybody knows that Hugh Jackman is in it. If you didn't, sorry, spoiler, he is.
I mean, it's called Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, and he kept calling him Hugh, like while they were like in the movie, like legitimately, like while they were in scenes or whatnot, he would call him Hugh and whatnot. I thought it was hilarious, but I thought it was just really good. It was a really fun time. Ian was bringing up like we were talking about the story. The story was after I started thinking about it, I was like, yeah, the story was kind of thin. I will go ahead and say, if you haven't seen Loki season 2 or Loki at all, you're gonna be kind of confused as to what the hell's going on.
I didn't watch Loki season 2.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, as long as you've seen Loki, you probably know, like, about the spoiler here, TVA and stuff like that. So,
Dude,
I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's like, but
okay, so mild spoilers. I am going to specify things that are, it's hard to say common knowledge, but things that have already been openly talked about on the internet.
okay,
Now, I am not some run of the mill like Deadpool like guy. Like I'm just like, oh, this movie's really cool. Like was well aware of Deadpool way before he was ever a thought in being a movie. I've read Deadpool comics. I still own the PlayStation 3 Deadpool game where Deadpool is
I
voiced
didn't know
by
they had a
Nolan.
game. Honestly,
I still have it. So like I'm not like, again, Deadpool as a character is fine, although over time me getting older, that he whatever wears on me quickly.
I can
His
see it.
humor, just like the whole Deadpool ish. Like if I say, oh, that's very Deadpool, like, and it's the same thing with Harley Quinn, the oversaturation of the character. Go ahead.
Small point. As I was watching the movie, I was thinking about the fact that, like, I don't think you're gonna like the humor very much, because it very much so is Deadpool humor in the aspect of, like, there's a lot of ball jokes, a lot of dick jokes. It's all very low brow, but it to me it felt like just funny enough for you to be like,
It was
kind of
too
chuckle.
much.
Yeah,
Just like, dude, within the first 20 minutes, I was already like like I was almost audibly like, okay, come on, like let's go. Like it was already like that the whole beginning. I'm like, my God, I get it. Fucking move on.
dancing
dude.
to the entire NSYNC song. I mean, hey, it was a choice. Shelby
It's fine.
absolutely loved it. She could not get enough of it. She was like, give me that one, give me it on repeat. That was hilarious. And I was like, I laughed too. Thought it was great choreography. A big spoiler here. I was very disappointed to find out that it was in fact not Ryan Reynolds dancing.
Well,
it was his
Dude, Ryan Reynolds is
choreographer
barely
for
in the movie.
fight scenes. I know, but I was very, because that does give me very much so Ryan Reynolds energy. I was kind of hoping it was Rob McElhenney and he was the one dancing that scene, which would have been even funnier, I think. But hey, whatever. But it did feel like it carried on a bit long, and like but still a good time. I had a great time. It was
But it wasn't even just that. It was just, there was a lot within the movie where I'm like, oh my God, like you're just like, it's like it's like beating a dead horse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, tell your joke, let the joke sit there. Everyone laughs. You can even reference that joke later, but like, don't reference it 10 times in 10 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not just that, like the formula
doesn't ever let anything go, and it's so much like,
Right.
again, it's like Deadpool humor. Yeah, I know.
it's too much, man. It's too much for me. I just can't deal with it anymore. All that to say, there are things I really enjoyed about it. Seeing all the different variations of Wolverine. I am a huge Age of Apocalypse fan, so seeing that Wolverine with giant hair and missing one hand, loved that.
Okay, can you answer something? I don't want a big spoiler here. What was the one where he was on like a cross? What was that?
That is from a famous comic book cover.
Okay, cool. I was like, I didn't know.
And
cool.
then there was also the one person. I don't want to spoil that
Oh
cameo.
yeah.
That was funny.
It's kind of it was a nod to like maybe. I read that it was like a nod to possible future prospects, but also maybe just a fun little like fan theory floated out there.
Again, the story is whatever. The one part I did love, it's kind of a light spoiler, but not really. So like, I'll let it sit here for a second. Spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1.
They've probably skipped past this part by this point.
Channing Tatum as Gambit was amazing.
God damn. I didn't want fucking the best. Honestly, the best
the best part of the
acting. Best. I Shelby
Here's
hated every second he was on the screen.
I loved it.
I thought it was the fucking
Two
hilarious, the most hilarious part of the movie.
2 reasons, because you don't know if you know this. Channing Tatum was supposed to be Gambit in a movie.
I did know
like
that.
10 years
That's
ago.
even funnier.
Like 10 years ago, when Fox was still in charge of X-Men, they were doing, like, he had signed on. It was for a long time. Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit. So this was like their like
Chance,
this is your
their
moment.
chance, yeah.
And so the fact that Channing Tatum played it so straight and like the accent was awful.
He bounced off of 17 different. It was like me trying to impersonate a Louisiana accent, and it was like it went from like one to another to another, and it's like every time he talked, there was a
So
different
good.
aspect, and it
But
was perfect.
the reason it worked is because he played it so straight, and then like Wade Wilson, Ryan Reynolds is just
Of course, yeah. What the fuck
like
did he just say?
what
Yeah,
and
God
and
damn.
you because you as the watcher are just like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, and it's like
Just
I love the part was like shooting at his daddy's balls right. It's just like goddamn.
Dude,
That had to
I
have
loved it.
taken 20 takes at least just to do that with a straight face.
And here's what's crazy. That is like one of the most comic accurate like
Get us right.
outfits.
Isn't that like the what he looks like in the
Dude,
comics?
he looks just like that. And like
He
think
does
about
have
what he looked.
has a French accent or something like that. Is
He's
Louisiana Cajun?
He's-
Yeah,
he's
so
Cajun.
Louisiana. Yeah, okay. So he
Yeah,
got
but,
close
like-
to it several times.
But then like you watched X-Men 97.
Yeah, I've watched bits and pieces. I got to go back and finish it, but I've
Oh,
watched
okay.
like 3 or
well,
4
like
episodes.
I mean, just watch Gambit. Like that's
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally it was just
God
it was
damn, it was so good.
unbelievable.
honestly, that was
Um,
like if you to go for the movie for any reason, that's the reason right there. It's like
Unreal.
just to see
And
him.
what I liked about that and then that group of people was that it wasn't just a cameo fest. That was more in tune to like, okay, this is the end for like this is the closing, and they even talk about it in the movie. Like this is
Yeah.
where we end. We're getting our closure. That was cool. Again, like Cassandra Nova is a fine villain. I think that
Dude,
at the end of the day, using it for dead, like it works. If Fox hadn't have been so fucking moronic with some of the shit that they did in the X-Men movies,
don't
you
worry, they
could
brought
have-
that up several times.
you could have done all that stuff. I do appreciate how there's that one moment where he's like, yeah, you're coming in the MCU now. He's like, we're here at a bit of a low point because it's like
Yeah.
not to toot my own horn, but I called that shit out years
They
ago
talk-
about
I
how
also,
this shit
like, I
wasn't
was-
very good.
I was doing like the whenever they were talking about the multiverse and how it was dead and beaten as beating a dead horse, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna like that part. He's gonna
Yeah.
like that part.
Yeah, it was a bit of unseeking validation because this is like I have this this reputation of being a contrarian and a hater, but it turns out like I'm just ahead of the curve almost always when it comes to that sort of
Hey,
things. And
I'll
I
give
can
it
just,
to you. You really are.
I mean,
man.
and it's not me tooting my own horn and being like, oh, look at me, I'm right. It's just like, I don't know, man. Like, it hasn't been good. I've been saying it hasn't been good. I like eventually just quit watching the whole MCU in general, and then it was like, no, and then like, so much so that they are course correcting, which we'll get to San Diego Comic-Con in a minute. Ultimately, I think the movie is fine.
Fucking nailed it, dude.
It's
Let's go, baby. I will
I
say,
en-
I
I enjoyed
loved-
it.
Yeah.
I like it more than the second one.
Okay.
I think that it could have been, oh man, this is really good if I had the tolerance to put up with the Deadpool humor.
Yeah, and that's the thing where we differ because like I'm still a
You're a
child at
child.
heart. Yeah.
You're a child.
But I thought Cassandra Nova, like the character who played Cassandra Nova, the actress, like my God, if you
She's really
wanted, I mean, if you wanted a maniacal like villain for your movie, you got it. Because I was scared she was gonna rip my brain out. So
The only complaint I would have with her is that there's not enough. She's not on screen enough because her motivations aren't really clear. And it's like, oh, here she is. You get introduced as she's the baddie. And then you spend like a whole 45 minutes fucking around. Oh, here she is again. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
she's like, all of a sudden-
whirlwindy. Yeah, I'll let
So
you go.
I-
and kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I do think that it is on the surface a better movie than No Way Home, because
Yeah.
I think that No Way Home is very shallow. You take all those cameos away, and I just don't think it's a great movie.
And
That's
I think the one of my big points was that it was the best looking Marvel film I've seen in 10 years as well. As far as it felt like they used practical effects. I saw the trailer and I was incredibly worried that they had CGI'd Hugh's head into a suit the entire time
did.
because there was some mapping, but he was definitely wearing the suit for a majority of the shoot.
He was
Like,
wearing the suit. He was not wearing the mask at the end.
That
so when
was
when
rough,
they're
yeah.
so when they're doing that whole fight scene at the end with all the
That was
Deadpools.
I want to say that was extremely intentional because it was on the, if it's not, hey, whatever, it was the only bit that I hadn't even noticed it, but it was like sorry, it was spoilers again, but like him falling out at the back of the bus next to like a very obviously CGI'd in Wolverine was like, I felt like kind of a nod to like, oh, they're not going to recognize me falling out of the back of the bus because clearly this guy is not even here. And it was like one of those things where I was talking to Shelby, I was like, I wonder if like he couldn't show up for the filming of that last scene or like he just couldn't do it or whatever. But yeah,
I
when
mean,
he
he
put on
is
the
60.
mask, it was like you could tell that he wasn't necessarily wearing a mask. Yeah, but
he did wear the mask earlier in the movie.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's the thing.
It's like they went with a choice.
It was just so obvious at the end, but it's fine. Like that stuff, like having one or two of those, like it's glaring, it's noticeable, but it's not enough to ruin an entire thing. Where like I think the majority of the MCU stuff lately is that it's so glaring and obvious that it is in the entirety of it, and so bad that it takes away from
And
it.
it
Like
felt like all of it was shot on scene too, is what another thing, and not in front of like their state of the art, LCD screens or whatever they brag about from like the Mandalorian.
I mean,
shit
it
that
was
you can,
probably all filmed in front of a green screen.
Hey,
to
maybe
be
it
honest with you.
was. You got it. If you did, you nailed it, guys. You figured out the secret sauce, so to speak.
But is it enough to make me jump back into the MCU? No.
You got to have more than just this one. Yeah, for sure.
No, because like it's kind of like Nintendo for me, but I think Nintendo has a little bit better of a track record where, like Ian a couple weeks ago was talking about, oh, well, you look at Nintendo's putting out a horror game. It's rated mature. And it's like, oh, you're always complaining that they don't. And it's like, okay, yeah. So they're doing one mature game for the first time in 20 years. They did one rated R movie made for adults. And I would argue that it's not really made for adults. It is, but like that's still humor of a 17-year-old. But like it's like, oh, look, we can talk about pegging and say the F word a bunch, which I do think, I'll be honest with you, as someone who uses the F word a lot, I feel like they kind of use the F word a little too much.
Well,
like
I think
it
they were going overboard for the the fact that
it kind of felt.
yeah.
Sometimes it just kind of felt forced and unnatural. But like whatever, it's fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't get offended by that shit at all. But it was just like whatever. I get like you can pick apart it all day long. At the end of the day, it was a fine movie. I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was great. But
Fucking
like
knew it, man.
Yeah, I mean-
I was like, yeah, he's gonna think it's fine.
So the big news out of San Diego Comic-Con was the fact that they're just like, hey, you remember all that shit we've done for the last 5 years, and like just forget it. Kang, we're building up to Kang being this big thing in the multiverse and the timelines, all that stuff. Just forget it. It doesn't exist. But hey, you remember that guy that you love so much? We're going to contradict ourselves anyways, because the guy that you love that gave is one of the best, most meaningful sacrifices. We're going to bring him back, and he's going to be a bad guy. He's going to be Dr. Doom.
Yeah, man. Not to bury the lead, but Robert Downey Jr. is making his return to the Marvel Universe by being Victor Von Doom
Yes.
in the next Doom Avengers Doomsday or whatever it's called.
So
Apocalypse?
he's
What
going
is
to
it? Which one is
be,
it? I don't know, but
he's going to be Doomsday, and then whatever. I don't know. It's like they announced like 3 or 4 movies. Okay, cool.
I love Robert Downey Jr. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those things where like, yeah, it's gonna be super awkward.
Are there no
having-
other actors?
Yeah, man, that's another. It's like I get the Kang stuff, the actor, whether or not like all the claims and allegations or whatever are true. I don't know if they've been fledged out in court. It's like you couldn't have pivoted, been like, yeah, like I think it was Ian or Tim
Especially
or
Kang.
Mike. Yeah, and it's like he has so many variants. They brought up a really good point in the group chat. Like he has so many variants, you can't pick from the multitude of other people of color to pick one of those guys and be like, hey, guy, you want to be the new Kang? It feels very much so like a weird pivot away from all this money you've invested.
It feels like it's a little too late.
And it does feel like they're just trying to capitalize on the fact that
Dude.
like RDJ, he was one of the most popular superheroes. Like to bring them, he saved the Marvel Universe once. Let's see him do it again. And it's like, man,
It just feels and reeks of desperation. Not only bringing Robert Downey Jr. back for $80 million, by the way, which is just astronomically dumb.
good for him, man.
Whatever. Is that you're also bringing back the Russo brothers, who did Infinity War and all that stuff, and it's just like you're really doubling down on like, oh, we're gonna take it back, we're gonna bring the people back, and it's just gonna be all these people that you love, and we're really gonna do this. We're timelines. Just
It's like
forget
they're
all about
two
that.
steps away from saying, "You guys were right. We've kind of lost our way. We're sorry. We're gonna bring back everything you love."
But
kind of thing.
here's the real kicker to all that. Okay, whatever, you're doing this, you're pivoting away. We're gonna try to have one singular focused universe now. Except that the Fantastic Four is a separate universe now. So like, what are we doing?
So how do you make Victor Von
Because
Doom?
it takes place in the 60s.
It's Victor Von
But it's
Doom.
an
Am I
all-
saying his name wrong?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, but
making
it's
sure.
you can just say Doctor Doom. It's
Doctor
easier.
Doom. That's fair. I like Victor Von Doom. You know. It's like,
But like you have the Fantastic Four that takes place in an alternate future New York 1960s. Okay, so clearly it's not the same timeline. Like, what are we doing? And that's
Yeah.
fine. You know what? At the end of the day, and I've said it last week, I've said it in chats, the MCU is the lowest common denominator. That's who it's made for, and that's fine. And they still make money, and I don't fucking matter. I'm never going to matter, and that's cool. And I washed my hands of it, and I just, I'm just waiting. The only thing that is not, I'm not holding out. It's just I know that like when they announce, because I think D23 is in a couple weeks, and that's like their thing where they're gonna like a whole slate of all
Oh,
the Disney
yeah,
movies,
okay.
all their Marvel, like whatever they're gonna do. Right? I feel that they're gonna announce like a Midnight Suns movie. They're gonna announce a Ghost Rider movie, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider. Are you back in?" And it's gonna be like, "No," and they're gonna be like, "Well, but
Nicolas Cage is Ghost Rider.
Moon Knight's gonna be in the Midnight Suns movie. Are you in?" And it's like, no, like I'm out, dude. Like I don't think there's anything they can do to bring me back. Like nothing, nothing at all.
It's gonna take.
Like
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, okay.
I don't think I'm never gonna say never, but like in a weird way, I'm so happy that I don't have to like participate in the discourse of the MCU anymore. Like I just washed my hands of it. People that love it, that's fine. Whatever.
That's how I feel about social media and being off of social media.
Like I
where it's
just
like,
I
don't have
just
to worry
don't
about it
like I
anymore.
don't
yeah.
I live in my own, like I still read comics. Comics has always been the source. You know, I'll play probably the Captain America Black Panther game. I'll probably play it. I'll probably enjoy it. You know, I'm still a Marvel fan, but like I'm just kind of anti MCU. Not that I'm like boycotting it. It's just like I don't care. Like it's not for me. I don't care.
I think okay, Marvel, if you're listening, I think a great way to like get rid of the multiverse would be to give us an actual Marvel Zombies movie where they go into all these other timelines, make it a very Infinity War-esque ending where the good guys don't win, right? And they have to spend all the movie like trying to save everything, but they can't do it, and it ends up infecting all the other timelines except for the sacred timeline, or like maybe an offshoot timeline, and that then becomes the sacred timeline, and there's only one timeline now, and then boom, everything's fixed. Everything's fixed.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But more importantly,
I'll take a check now, please. Thank you.
Batman the Caped Crusader season 1 drops yesterday when this comes out. Comes out Thursday this week on Amazon. It is going to be rad as shit.
What is this? Okay, so tell me, explain it better than
Animated.
5, and I've never seen it.
Okay, so it's Batman
Okay.
animated. It's got the essence of the animated series that everyone holds so dearly.
Okay.
Present company.
Which one?
included.
The red one or the actual Batman looking one?
Are you talking Batman Beyond?
Yes. Yes, I
It's
am.
not. So Batman Beyond was a successor to Batman the animated series.
Okay, that's whenever
Because Terry
Robin
McGinnis
took over,
is
right?
No, it's Terry McGinnis.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne is the old man, and
Oh, that's
in
right. Yeah,
Batman
because he has
Begins.
an old man. Yeah, that's right. Okay, got you.
Anyways, but it's the same. It's Kevin Conroy. Anyways, so this is the whole thing is strange too, because like why wouldn't you put this on HBO? But whatever, considering that like Warner Brothers owns fucking Batman. Anyways, but they're bringing back Bruce Timm, who was a huge influence and part of the animated series. Been the stuff that people like me love about DC growing up, Cartoon Network, Justice League, all this stuff, sort of stems from Bruce Timm. And it's 10 episodes, season 1. the reviews are out that it's like it is a bit more adult oriented than the animated series. It's
Good.
not full boy, but it's not like full, like you're not gonna see like banging and
Well, I
blood.
mean,
and-
yeah, because Batman doesn't go down on anybody. So, I mean, why would they show banging and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's not that adult, but the themes are, it's a little bit less universal and more like, oh, like this 10 episodes. And it's, I don't know. The reviews are really good. And I'm super fucking pumped.
Hell yeah.
The Penguin comes out in like a couple weeks.
I am excited about that because I do think, I think
Dude.
that Batman universe. This guy, yeah. No,
the Batman.
I do think that like, yeah, that universe is gonna be sick if they can keep that up. Brian Pattinson, I think, still the underdog Batman. Ryan, right. Wait, what is his name? Ryan Gosling.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. It's one of the names, dude.
You went
It's
Brian.
Brian Pattinson. He's great. He's good as Batman. I think he did a great job, underdog Batman, in my opinion. But did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see the second one. And the Penguin's gonna be good. So.
Do you want to bore everyone and talk about Hunt?
Oh man, I do. Okay, so this is probably gonna last about 10 minutes. But
We can wrap it up.
yeah. Okay, so explain what Hunt details do you want to talk about first? The fact that
So-
we've already talked about the update coming out, so that's all like fine and dandy.
So they
Gonna have a new map.
they did what I said they would do, and they would release it right before San Diego Comic-Con. And for over a year now, we've been hearing about this new map, maybe 2, and they finally released not just like a video. They did
It
like
was
a
a
full on
full-on
like a 30-minute
yeah.
walkthrough.
Well, it was the
uh,
same clips over and over again, but
it
yeah,
was,
they
but there
gave
was-
you some pretty good highlights. Yeah.
Right, and it was all this stuff, and it's called Mammon's Gulch.
Still
and
thought it was called
looks-
Mammoth Gulch, and
it looks dope as shit. It's going to be in Colorado. So it looks like the game is sort of moving west. It has a new online moniker now. It's Hunt 1896 now.
it's
is what it's called.
It's progressed. It's fucking awesome. Like it's progressed the
It's
story.
progressed a year, but there is a reason. From here's like the real stuff that I like, the nerdy business part of it, right? So it's a free upgrade for anyone who has Hunt Showdown. It's a free upgrade, and the reason it is getting the 1896 is again because it is like a 2.0. There's a ton of stuff changing, ton of quality of life stuff, trait reworks. Big thing is bullet drop, which is not in the game now. All that stuff. But from a marketing standpoint, when you are trying to get new players to come in and play, you add that 1896 because currently it's the PS4 version and the Xbox One version. So they're eliminating the you can no longer play those versions of the game. It's getting officially released as a PS5 game and an Xbox One X game. But when you search Hunt Showdown when the game comes out, it will show up as a new game rather than a 6-year-old game at that point.
It's gonna be on
It's all
top
about
of the charts, baby.
It's all about manipulating the algorithm and trying to get, because like that's the thing, and we've always said that Hunt has a very, very, very steep learning curve, and it is very brutal. And
Have to play with
the-
headphones, honestly, if you're
it
gonna
is
try
not
it
a
out.
hand-holdy game, and so it is pretty much like they and like, dude, we played it when the tutorial was like, here's how you do the thing, and like now I've not played the new one where it's like fully narrated and stuff.
I played it on the PlayStation. It's pretty sick. It's pretty dope. Like they pretty
Yeah.
much go through everything
but
you need
even
to know.
but even then, it doesn't tell you the nuance of things. All that to say is that like that comes out August 15th. I'm so fucking excited.
It's so dope. It had like 2 weeks.
It is
Ugh.
it is a bit weird. So they're like so there's only, this will be the 4th map. So there's 3 maps that they're disabling the maps, and will be the only map for a month, and then they're releasing the first map again with all the new bells and whistles and the new graphical stuff. Because that's the big thing, is it's a brand new graphics engine that allows them to do a lot of new stuff. They're adding bats and cows, and like it's like, this means nothing to anybody who doesn't play this, but like all this shit is just like, I mean, this is like, we're so deep into it that like we've been watching like weekly videos.
Yeah, man.
That's how nerdy we are. Weekly videos
I don't
on
think I've been
YouTube.
this excited about something since like, I don't know, man. I
WoW?
don't even know. Like
Like
probably
the WoW expansions.
the WoW expansions, hell, like
Yeah.
Fable. Whenever I was really big into Fable 2 and 3 when they were coming out.
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yeah, it's just like that level of like, damn, dude, I'm hyped. Let's go.
I am too, man. Like now that I've seen it, and I'm just like let's go. And like I'm in this weird position. Like I want to keep playing it because we only have 2 weeks left of like
I'm just
what we know is Hunt.
I want to play it, but then I was like, I just can't play it because I'm so excited for the new stuff, and it's like I'll be like, give it to me now, give me now.
I understand, but like I'm just trying to sort of soak all the old hunt in.
We'll have to play on August 14th.
Can't. This game is being shut down on the 13th.
August 13th. We'll get old Thomas.
August 12th is the last day you can play.
We'll get old Thomas out there August 12th. We'll get Hef. We'll get Warden. We'll get all the boys. We'll all get there on the map, and we'll just take one good look at it again up from the prison.
Well, I don't need to look at the map. I need to play the game the way it is.
I know, but just like experience what it looks like now, and then like transition into the new. But
yeah, and more importantly, like it's all free. That's what's just
dude, that's
the
so
dopest
sick.
shit. Do you want me to give you an uncomfortable truth?
I guess so, man. Is it about my breath? Does it smell bad? Do I smell bad?
I can't smell it.
I shower before almost every episode, so.
It's because you're on camera now.
I mean, it's not just that, but I want to smell good for you. I put on deodorant.
Yeah, okay. It's because I've just been badgering the shit out of you for years about hygiene.
I mean that I've been sweating a ton lately. Like today,
Yeah,
I was like drenched in sweat. So.
Bro, can we talk about it?
Yeah, dude. It's fucking. Wait, what?
The fucking rain in this town.
It's been 3. What is it? 4, 5 weeks now? How many weeks of rain? We're done.
It's not been that long. Okay, listen. You can go back and check the almanac, the records, whatever. I'm almost certain that we went something like 7 weeks, 6, 7, 8 weeks, somewhere in there without a single drop of rain. Like the summer was so brutal, like because we couldn't get any rain. Like my backyard was like Mad Max wasteland. Like it was just brown. It was just dead. Nothing I could do. I've only mowed twice since May. I mowed once in June and like once in May. But like it's just not raining. Anyways, so be careful what you ask for, because the other day you were just like, I'm so tired of this rain, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's good. We need it. It has not fucking stopped raining for like days.
And you were over here like, oh, we need it. Yeah, like you just said.
I told you
like
yes. I was like, I concede. I was like, I'm done. Because like I have my grass, it's so lush and green, but my backyard's a swamp. Like I literally had to go walk the dogs in the rain because I couldn't let them out in the backyard because they'd be swimming. Like that's how much it, like that's not a joke. Like that's how much it's rained in the back. Like my whole back like fence line, it's standing water. Like
it's gonna rain again around 3:00 tonight. So at the time of this recording.
Anyways, back to my uncomfortable truth.
Okay.
So when I say midlife crisis, middle age, what is the age that you think of as middle age?
I guess 30.
There's no wrong. There's no wrong. There's no wrong answer.
Okay, like 50 probably. I would say like around there.
So 50 is the middle age for you. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean that's fine.
I mean,
That's fine.
yeah, I would guess like probably 48.
Okay, 48, 50 is middle
You're
age.
scared to be 50, and you're like, yeah, you do.
To me, like 55, middle age.
Okay.
Right. All right. Well, the fact is, the average lifespan in America is 76 years.
Oh shit.
So what would middle age be, math boy?
Hold on, let me pull up my phone real quick so I have somebody to blame if I get this wrong. I would say okay, so 76.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it like what? Okay, so
So divided by half.
38.
So 38 is technically middle age.
So we're kind of close to our midlife crisis. You and I at 35.
Yeah. And like it's so weird because they've tricked an entire generation to work until they're 64 years old. Right. And then it's like by the time that we get to 64, it's going to probably be like 67 as the retirement age. So you at best get 10 to 12 years to enjoy your life.
That's if you're not decrepit by that point.
But that's my caveat was going to be, but like the reason why people of that age are so goddamn mean and miserable is because they're fucking broken, depressed, hateful. Like there's nothing left.
They just spent the last 60 years of their life working it. So,
yep.
Oh,
so
man.
all that to say is like, dude, take those trips, take those PTO days, dude, do what you got to do, man. Fuck the loyalty to a company. Fuck working all the time.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
Like do it. Just take it, man. Cause like you and I are planning a trip and my biggest aversion is like, that drive's going to be so fucking brutal. But like the more I'm thinking about it,
I got it. We'll take my car.
The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we would take my car. My car's newer, and more reliable, and better on gas and faster.
We can go so fast in my car.
So it's a spaceship. I'm pretty sure is what you said last time. Anyways, it's just like, not that I'm convincing him. It's like the biggest hurdle was the drive, or is going to be the drive. But I'm just like, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Just do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we'll be tired coming on the way back. Whatever. We'll sleep, bro. It's fine. It's going to be a fucking...
We got hours to sleep, man.
It's going to be a fucking good time. And you're doing me a solid because you're going with me. So it's like, fuck it. Anyways, that all leads to the thing that has upset you the most in recent days would be what?
Okay. If I remember correctly, I was very upset at the fact that we had, are you referring to the horrendous Supreme Court ruling in Ohio? Or,
Yeah.
Okay, is that what we're referring to? Like the Ohio Supreme Court?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been this upset about something.
But hold on. But why? But what was the ruling?
Because now, like, you're going to sit here and tell me with a straight face, right, that if I go into a restaurant and I order some boneless wings and I start hounding away at these things, and all of a sudden I come across an inch-long bone, right, I'm not supposed to be upset about that because there's a social agreement that, boneless doesn't mean boneless. Boneless doesn't. So these pieces of shit, these pieces of pompous shit, and their stupid-ass, dumb robes, okay? First of all, your robes are really stupid. Okay, get updated gear. This isn't the fucking 1800s. Where your wigs at, okay? You gotta wear the robes, wear the wigs at least, okay? Pompous ass pieces of shit. Gonna sit here and tell us, look down on us and say that this gentleman, what was his name? The real victim of this story, okay?
I saw this story and sort of just was like, okay, whatever. Didn't look into it. And then it was like 2 days later, you jump into chat and you're just like, boys, let me tell you what I'm hot about.
Mr. Michael Berkheimer, okay, the real victim in this story, right? He's munching away on some bones. He gets one lodged in his throat, goes home that night thinking,
boneless wings.
Boneless wings. He ordered boneless wings on the menu. And he goes home. He has a little cough or whatever. He feels like something stuck in his throat. Turns out he goes to the doctor. The doctor's like, nah, you got like an inch-long bone here in your throat here, sir. We're going to have to go do 2 surgeries and deal with this infection to get it out.
How do you have an inch-long bone in your mouth? Like, do you not chew
it's
your
stuck in
goddamn
his throat.
food?
So it was stuck in like his esophagus. He was eating boneless wings. So like, obviously, you think they're boneless, right?
An inch.
Yeah.
So that's that much. Okay.
Okay. I like your inches better. That's for sure. I'm definitely like at least a solid 7 or 8 inches. Yeah. Give me those. For sure.
Okay, an inch. All right, an inch. All right.
It's actually like it's probably about a half inch is what you're holding up, but
okay.
that looks more like
So you're telling me that you're sitting there nomming away and you don't bite into the bone, dude? I want to eat a hamburger and I get a gristle.
Yeah,
I'm just like ew. Like,
hey,
but you can't tell there's a 1 inch bone in your.
We're not doing this. We're not victim blaming. All right, we're not victim blaming here, dude. The guy ordered boneless wings. He's allowed to devour the boneless wings anyway he wants to. All right, because it is up.
So he ordered chicken nuggets.
Yeah, he ordered chicken nuggets. Whatever you guys, that's the thing too. We're gonna go to McDonald's, right? If I start nomming on McDonald's, they had a big uproar whenever they started finding fingers and shit like that in McDonald's food. Okay, now remember that story from like 2008.
2008.
Yeah, I couldn't think of like the name of the number, whatever. But like, yeah, it was like people finding like pieces of humans.
You and numbers, they don't match.
Well, it's all Ben's fault, so shouts out to him.
You're so self-conscious about numbers now.
But it's like, yeah, okay. So I go to fucking McDonald's and I start nomming away on some chicken nuggets and I find like a chicken beak in there. And it's like, oh well, that it's fucking, it's just a written. Obviously it's a part of the chicken, so it's obviously gonna be part of the chicken nugget. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay?
But why? Damn. Because I mean, words matter, and boneless should imply boneless. I think if like you're gonna get shitty because you found, I mean, like, where do you draw the line? Like, you can't guarantee. I don't know.
I draw the line at like you sitting there in a straight face, and you put it on a menu saying boneless wings, and you have the audacity. You had the audacity to sit here and be upset at somebody who's suing you because you gave them boneless wings and they end up getting a bone stuck in their throat and getting like an infection and shit like that. Like, no, get out of here, dude. Like, you're at fault there. Just play up, or take it off the menu. Yeah, get rid of the boneless. Like I said, get rid of the seedless watermelons. Ian had a great point. It was like, oh, seedless watermelons are seedless. Like, yeah, but those aren't going to fucking kill you if you swallow one of those guys, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, get rid of seedless watermelons. There's no such thing as a seedless watermelon.
I'm gonna say something stupid here. I don't understand how a seedless watermelon works.
They basically make the watermelon sterile. Is essentially what they're doing. They're taking it, they're cutting its balls off, and then they grow it, and it turns into a seedless watermelon. But the reason that the seeds in a seeded watermelon are big and chunky is because that coating protects them whenever they're in the soil, so that way they can like make it to the soil, they can fall down there, they can do their thing, and then it breaks open and lets the seed come out. In a seedless watermelon, it's like you take that coating away and you make it basically infertile into where it can't create a new plant out of it, essentially.
Okay. Can I say something super controversial?
Yeah, sure.
Regular watermelons are infinitely better than seedless watermelons.
I mean, I'll give it to you. I mean,
There's so much.
there's something
more
to the
flavorful.
convenience that people think that it tastes better, like because it's convenient.
Well, there's
it's
a
like get out of
whole-
here, you know.
I sent a thing today in the group chat about convenience and how we've been tricked into
Yeah.
convenience. And hey, I am guilty as can be when it comes to convenience because I have a lot I will pay for convenience because I don't want to deal with the hassle of shit. And I get it,
I'm
but
with
like,
you, but
okay, so like the big debate was like, well, boneless wings aren't really wings. Okay, okay, fine. Then take them off the menu.
yeah, don't sell them as chicken nuggets now. But
Call them something else. Call them chicken
don't
nuts. Call them
imply
chicken
that they are
ball. Call them chicken
boneless.
balls. Call them chicken chunks. I don't give a fuck. It's just not as appealing.
But I
though.
just
But
hated their opinion so much. It burned me from the inside out, you know.
now, growing up, I say growing up, like when I was in college, I would always get boneless wings because if they're gonna be the same price, we talk about convenience. I felt like I was getting more food for the same price, and I didn't
Yeah.
have to deal with like, oh, there's this fucking bones in this shit. I don't have. Gun to my head, put a preference. Okay, it just depends on the sauce. Like, am I in dry rub? Am I in wet wings? Wet wings, I prefer boneless. Dry rub, I prefer like with bones. Just because I'm kind of weird about like being dirty and like getting shit all over my face and all that stuff, in my hands, whatever. But like at the end of the day, like I don't give a fuck. Like it's that whole pineapple and pizza shit. Like I don't care. I don't care what your opinion is on. No, boneless wings aren't wings. I don't fucking care. I don't care.
And it's
Like, I don't
I'm right there with you because it's like the hot dog and
care.
hamburger conversation where it's like
Don't
if
give a
it was yeah, we did that in our very first episode. It's a hot dog and hamburger, and I want to go back
Did we?
now. Yeah, and I want to go back now and say I don't fucking care now. Yeah, you know, if you want to call it a sandwich, go ahead, dude.
We live in such a time now where you can just say anything, and it's done for attention. It's done for clout. It's done for trolling. It's done to spread misinformation. Case in point, there was a whole thing in the group chat earlier today. We've referenced a group chat a lot. So sorry about that. But like
shouts
there
out
was
to our group chat.
there was a tweet from Elon that wasn't real, but like it looked real. It felt real.
It is
probably
100% something that he would say. So I feel
And
like
it's just
that's
like-
real to me.
what is real, what is truth, what is